Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience here in Mississippi and our online audience tuning in. Thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could join us as well. Well, as we are still dealing with COVID-19, even though we have some great news about the vaccines that are coming, right now, though, we still have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Add on to that, we're in the cold and flu season. How can you be able to make sure you're doing your part to stay safe and to keep other people safe as well? We're excited to welcome Dr. Eva Beaulieu to our program. She's going to give you guys some helpful tips that I believe all of us can be able to use. Dr. Beaulieu, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to do it. So as I mentioned, we are getting great news when it comes to the vaccine, but right now, though, we still have to be able to do our part when it comes to the coronavirus. So, Dr. Beaulieu, let's start there. What are some ways that we could help to kind of stop the spread of COVID-19?
So I tell everyone to wear a mask and continue to social distance and wash your hands as much as possible, especially while eating, using high-touch surfaces, or if you're caring for someone who is sick. I do recommend using an EPA-approved disinfectant to disinfect high-touch surfaces around the home, particularly if you're coming in and out of the house or if you have a household member who is an essential worker that has to leave the house daily. You can use Pine Sol Original Multi-Surface Cleaner or Clorox Disinfecting Bleach, which are both 99.9% effective against killing germs and have both been EPA approved, and they also clear the COVID-19 virus on hard and porous surfaces.
Wow. Let's talk about that a little bit more, and I appreciate you mentioning that with Pine Sol and Clorox bleach because, I remember when the coronavirus was really starting to really spread here in the States, one of the things that they mentioned was things that we could do when we're going to the grocery store, where we're putting our bags, that kind of thing. Is there a particular area, Dr. Beaulieu, that you're noticing that we definitely make sure that we're taking time to disinfect when it comes to using products like Pine Sol and Clorox?
So I recommend people disinfect high-touch surfaces around the home, such as doorknobs, handles, light switches, by using an EPA-approved disinfectant. So make sure you read the label to see if it is EPA-registered. The Pine Sol Original Multi-Surface Cleaner is a great agent to use. When you use it at its full strength to disinfect hard, non-porous surfaces, you can apply it to a clean sponge or a cloth. You wet the surface and let it stand for about 10 minutes, and then you can wipe it clean or rinse it with fresh water. You can also do the same thing with Clorox Disinfecting Bleach, which a lot of us already have at home under the sink. Again, make sure you check the label to see if it is EPA registered, and if so, you can make a bleach solution that you can apply using a cloth and a sponge as well to hard, non-porous surfaces by following the instructions for dilution on the label. You can always go on Clorox.com if you want to find out how as well.
Got you. Great information. Since we're talking about Pine Sol, Dr. Beaulieu, I would like to spend a moment talking about something that I read about with Pine Sol, launching an online store to support women entrepreneurs of color. What can you tell us about that and what they're trying to do when it comes to making sure that entrepreneurs who have been hit hard this year, that they get some help?
Right. So we know that the Black community has been disproportionately affected by this pandemic, both physically and economically. And so knowing this, Pine Sol has been and is supporting the Black community, which has been a cornerstone of the brand for many generations, by making a $250,000 commitment to Digital Undivided, which is a social startup that supports Black female entrepreneurs. They're donating 100% of all proceeds from their newly launched Pine Store to the startup, and you can show your support at pinestore.com.
All right, so make sure you all are doing that. A great way, again, that they're helping us to not only stay safe, but also they're finding a way to be able to give back to a group that definitely can benefit from the help. Dr. Beaulieu, great information. Last thing I want to ask you about, of course, I can't let you cover this show without asking you about some general health tips for our audience. As I mentioned, we're kind of dealing not only with COVID, but also the cold and flu season. Any tips for our audience that they need to be doing day to day when it comes to trying to stay their best?
Right, so I tell people to try and keep themselves as healthy as possible in a holistic way. I recommend doing your best to supercharge your immune system by sleeping better, drinking plenty of water, exercising, eating a well-balanced diet, and trying to minimize your stress level in order to make yourself less vulnerable to illness.
All right. Again, everyone, Dr. Eva Beaulieu has been our guest. Dr. Beaulieu, thank you so much for these great tips. Again, make sure you guys head over to either pinesoil.com and clorox.com to find out more information about what you guys can do to make sure you're staying safe in your home, what services you need to be making sure you're paying attention to, and then, of course, make sure you guys are supporting the Pine story that Pine Sol has as well. Dr. Beaulieu, looking forward to our next conversation together.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.